Someone walks into your office or pings you in Slack with, hey, quick question. And 20 minutes later, your focus is shattered and you've lost your entire afternoon trying to get back to where you were. If you're an introverted or highly sensitive leader, your open door policy is not a sign of good leadership. It is a fast track to burnout. And it's not just the interruptions that cost you, it's the spiral that happens afterwards. You know what I'm talking about. Did I seem annoyed? Did I seem frustrated? Was I warm enough? Should I be more available? Am I being a bad leader if I say I don't have time right now? That mental spiral is the real problem. You don't have a time management problem. You have a boundary problem dressed up as an open door policy. And today I'm going to give you a framework to fix it, and without pretending to be someone that you're not. Hi, I'm Amber Anderson. I have spent over 25 years developing leaders in corporate, and I am a working executive coaching introverted and highly sensitive leaders. So let's get into it. So let's talk about what's actually happening when someone says, quick question. For most extroverted leaders, an interruption is just that. It's an interruption. They handle it, they move on. Their brain re-engages with the task they were working on fairly quickly. That is how their nervous system is wired. It works that way. It's wired for rapid social processing and quick recovery. Your brain works differently, and that is not a flaw. It is neuroscience. When you're an introverted or highly sensitive leader, a quick question triggers a chain reaction. First, there is that context switch itself. Research tells us that it takes, on average, 23 minutes to get your focus back after an interruption. But for highly sensitive people who process stimuli more deeply, that's going to take us even longer. It's because we weren't just thinking about the task we were working on, we were actually in the task that we were working on. You were processing at a depth that most people don't get to. And pulling you out of that task is like waking somebody up from a deep sleep instead of a light nap. But here's what makes it even worse, and this is the part that most people miss. It's not just the interruption that wrecks us. It's what happens afterwards. You start running that second job. The second job is that invisible, unpaid job that you've been working your entire career. Self-monitoring, impression management, calculating how every interaction lands. So after that quick question, your brain is doing double duty. You're trying to re-engage with the original work and you are processing mentally. Was I warm enough? Did I seem annoyed? Should I have been more available? Should I have dropped everything faster? What kind of leader am I if I need more alone time? That second job is the actual energy drain. It's not the question itself. It's not the interruption itself. It's the performance you feel pressured to deliver around the question. And this is totally normal if you're wired this way. You're not being dramatic. You're not being too sensitive. Your nervous system is doing exactly what it is designed to do. You are processing deeply. You are noticing the subtle things in your environment. You're caring about the people around you. But what happens when you don't address it is that you become the person, the leader, who is always available and always depleted. You start every single week with great intentions and structured time blocks, and by Thursday afternoon, you are absolutely fried because every single day somebody has interrupted your good intentions. They have interrupted your scheduled time blocks. Every single one of your good intentions has been invaded by somebody else's urgency. And because you never said anything, because you always smiled and said, "What's up?" every single time, your team is now working under the assumption that your time and focus is communal property. And by 3 p.m. every single day, you are not leading, you are surviving. You're running on fumes, you're annoyed at everyone, and then you're thinking you're a bad leader because you're annoyed. Sound familiar? The cost is not just your energy, it's the quality of your leadership. You can't give what you don't have. You know I always say this. You cannot lead with the depth, the precision, and the emotional intelligence your team actually needs when your nervous system has been hijacked 14 times before lunch. So I'm going to give you an exercise that I share with my clients to interrupt this pattern. I call it acknowledge, anchor, and assign. It's 3 simple steps to set boundaries around your focus and your energy without becoming a leader that nobody wants to approach. Step 1 is acknowledge. This is the step most introverted and HSP leaders completely ignore because they go straight to either silently resenting the interruption or immediately abandoning abandoning what they were doing, and neither one of those options works well. Acknowledging means briefly, warmly acknowledging the person in front of you. You see them, you let them know that they matter. This is important because, of course, your instinct as a highly sensitive leader is to make sure the person knows that you care about them. So you're going to lean into that instinct instead of fighting it. It sounds like this: hey, I want to give this the attention it deserves. That's it. One sentence. You have not said no. You have not made them feel like a burden. You have actually communicated something more generous than dropping everything. You have told them that their question is important enough that you want to be fully present for it. That's it. Okay, so step 2 is anchor. This is where you name your current reality, not as an excuse, as a fact. You anchor yourself in what's true for you right now. It sounds like this: I'm in the middle of something that needs my focused attention. That's it. Again, one sentence. You're not apologizing. You're not over-explaining. You're just simply stating a fact about your current capacity. Notice that sentence does not require you to perform anything. You do not have to fake cheerfulness. You don't have to manufacture availability that you do not have. You're simply telling the truth. And for the over-explainers in the room, and I know you're out there because I am one of you, resist the urge to justify why what you're working on matters. You do not have to add the why. I'm in the middle of something is a complete sentence. Okay. Step 3 is assign. This is the step that makes boundaries functional instead of philosophical. You assign a specific time and method for follow-up. It might sound like this: can you send me a Slack message with the details and I'll get back to you by 2 p.m. Or maybe let's connect at 3. I'll come find you. Or even, can you put 15 minutes on my calendar for this afternoon? You've done 3 things here. You have honored the relationship, you've protected your focus, and you've given them a concrete path forward so they are not left wondering if you actually care about them and what they need from you. The entire thing takes about 10 seconds, and it communicates something very powerful about how you lead. It shows them that you are thoughtful, intentional, and fully present when you show up. That is not a weakness. That is a leadership advantage. Now, I want to address something that is probably already running through your mind. You are probably thinking, but what if it is urgent? That is fair. Some things are genuinely time sensitive. But let's be honest, about 90% of the time, a quick question is not urgent. They are simply convenient for the person asking the question at the time. And there is a very big difference between convenient and urgent. You get to make that distinction. That is part of being a leader. If it's truly urgent, you are going to know. And you can absolutely handle it right then and there if it is truly urgent. Of course you can. But the default should not be everything is urgent and I should be immediately available for everything and everybody. That default is what is burning you out. So let me walk you through what this looks like on a real day. Let's say you've blocked from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. for strategic work or for deep work. Maybe you're preparing for a board presentation or you're writing performance reviews, something like that, something that needs your focus. Whatever it is, you know your brain does this type of work best during those hours in the morning. At about 9:15, one of your direct reports walks over and says, hey, do you have a quick minute? I have a question. With the old you, it might go something like this. You say, sure. You drop everything. You spend 15 minutes on that quote unquote quick question that, by the way, could have been an email. You spend another 30 minutes trying to remember where you left off, get back that train of thought. You feel vaguely resentful for being interrupted. Then you start to wonder if you're a bad leader for feeling resentful, and you essentially lose your entire morning. Now imagine the new you. You might respond like this. Hey, I want to give this the attention it deserves. I'm in the middle of something right now. Can you Slack me the details and I'll get back to you by 11:30? That's it. That's the entire thing. And here's what happens over time when you continue to do this. Your team starts to learn your rhythms. They start to respect your focus time, not because you have built walls, but because you've modeled intentional leadership. They start batching their questions. Better yet, they start thinking through their own problems and coming up with their own solutions before just defaulting to let me go ask. Some of them even start protecting their own focus time because they saw you model it first. You are now not just protecting your energy, you're teaching your team how to protect theirs as well. So here's the belief that I want you to sit with because this is the real work. Most introverted and HSP leaders have a belief that goes something like this. Good leaders are always available. If I set a boundary around my time, I am being selfish. I am not being a team player. I am a bad leader. I am somehow failing my team. I held that belief for years. I completely get it. Listen, it nearly cost me my health. It definitely cost me my joy, and it absolutely impacted my effectiveness as a leader. And it's gonna do all those things to you as well. I was the person that said yes to every meeting, every drive-by question, every "do you have a second?" And I thought I was being a great leader. I genuinely thought I was being a great leader. What I was actually doing was slowly destroying my ability to think clearly, to make decisions, and to show up with any energy for the people who actually needed me. So let me reframe this for you. Setting a boundary around your energy and your focus and your time is not being selfish. It is the most generous thing you can do for your team, because when you protect your capacity, you show up as the leader they actually need. You're thoughtful, you're present, you're clear, you're not scattered, you're not depleted, and you're not running on fumes. You know what I always say, self-leadership has to come before servant leadership, because you cannot give what you do not have. Okay, if you want to go deeper on this, on nervous system regulation, on setting boundaries that actually stick, on quitting that second job, I have a free guide called Lead Powerfully Without Pretending. It's a 4-step nervous system and mindset reset that you can do in 10 minutes a day. And it is built specifically for introverted and highly sensitive leaders like you and me. The link is in the description below. And if this video resonated, I would love to know. Please drop a comment below. I read every single one. And be sure to like and subscribe, because I show up here every single week with more videos like this one. I will see you in the next one.